Welcome back to Light Talk, where everyday people can share their own unique spiritual journey stories. If you have any stories that you would like to share, please email lighttalk423@gmail.com. And while you're at it, click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons. We have some fantastic guests for you today. I can't wait to have them introduce themselves and to start telling their stories to you. So go ahead, take over the mic and introduce yourselves.
Okay, we are Spectral Paranormal. My name is Mark.
I'm Andy.
And we are two clairsentients, and we've been doing the paranormal research and being paranormalists since June of 23. So, and we've been to, all right, so we've been through a lot of different investigations. We have well over, I think, 25 already. That's on our YouTube that we have done. We recently just did Gettysburg, and that was very insane with the evidence that we were able to capture. The Farnsworth video is out actually now, and we ended up talking to little Jeremy in the house, and Jeremy is a little 6-year-old boy that was killed in the front of the building by a horse and a carriage. And he felt very connected to me and Andy, and we were very surprised how much he talked. We got him through disembodied voices, and they were live, real time. And he also came through our portal, and you hear his real voice, and it's incredible.
That is incredible. That's really cool to be able to hear that. I haven't been able to hear that yet, but that's awesome. You got to check out some of their videos. They have some fantastic videos to see, so check them out. Yeah. So, you have been working together for how long?
Well, her and I, we started off dating. We had no idea that we both had the same exact ability, which was kind of crazy how we met and how something brought us together. We ended up, right when we first got together, we ended up planning a trip to Salem because that's a place that she's always wanted to see, and I always wanted to see it. So we ended up doing a little vacation there. Neither one of us discussed the paranormal or anything at that point. And when we got there, Andy was starting to feel very dark towards this property that was by the hotel Hawthorne that we were staying at. And it really made me curious. And I'm like, what do you mean you're feeling something? And she's like, no, she's like, I could feel like the energy of that place. And I was like, give me a little bit more. What do you mean that you could feel the energy? And she just the way that she articulated it were things that I was feeling. Now, she feels darkness a little bit more than I do. I do feel the darkness, but it really affects her more than me. But that's when she told me she had some kind of ability. And I was like, that's insane because I have the exact same ability. So we don't understand how, we were brought together. We both went through our share of bad relationships, etc. And then when we found each other, it was like an instant click. And it was amazing that we both ended up being both clairsentient, and we both had a love for the paranormal, and we ended up creating Spectral Paranormal.
That's awesome. What a great story. I like hearing those stories too, how people meet. It's just great stories. You guys had a spirit that you worked with. His name was Roger Sherman. Is that correct?
Yes, Roger Sherman is my spirit guide, which is mind-blowing. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing. Hers is, tell her about yours first. Go ahead.
Well, mine, I believe, is my cousin Ed, who passed away young. But Roger Sherman, the crazy thing about that is we went to the Ridgewood Winery in Birdsboro, PA. And that was long ago. That was where the Committee of Five met to discuss the Declaration of Independence. And Roger Sherman was there for that meeting.
Yeah, so Roger came through on that video. You can actually see us talking to him. He comes through and his voice sounds it's like very grungy. It's very hard to understand and when you're in real time. And then we have to analyze it. That's why we don't even use that portal anymore. We have a new portal now where the voices are very clear. But when he came through, we had this conversation and he felt such a connection with me that he ended up following me. from that property home. And we found out on the next investigation after that, a spirit was mentioning Roger was with us. And I was like, what do you mean Roger's with us? And then we had confirmation that Roger Sherman is my spirit guide now, which is mind blowing. So
That's really interesting in itself right there.
it's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
And like
Yeah.
I said, I mean, anybody could sit there and pull that out of their butts, but I mean, you could watch our videos and you actually hear him speaking, and you hear the speaker, like all the other spirits, they actually say that he's my guide, just like Ed's hers. So
Yeah. And you guys had another story with I have notes here for the Forest Hill with William Plott.
oh yeah. Go ahead, tell her that story.
Well, go ahead, because you must have.
No, the Williams thing, the grave thing.
Oh, the Williams. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one, I was in the cemetery and I was going through the ITC, and I connected with a female spirit. And when I asked her what her name was, she said her last name was Williams. That she died. I don't know if she died during childbirth. Her and the baby both died, or if she died after that. I'm not positive, but she was talking about a baby that she lost. And when she first came through, I had no idea that to the right side of me was the Williams plot. So I kind of started walking away from the Williams plot. And the more I talked to her, I asked her if she could show me back to where her grave was so I can confirm that there was actually a Williams there. And I kind of walked with her, and she kind of guided me back to what was the Williams plot. And when I got there, there was a little tombstone that just said baby. It didn't say anything else. So I was assuming that was kind of a baby that was miscarried, because why wouldn't there be a name there? So that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
since that, I mean, we've done so many investigations since we've last talked to you. We did the Masonic Temple in Scranton, which is home of the, what do they call it?
The Freemasons.
Yeah, home of the Freemasons. That place was insane, and that's a theater. Right from the get-go in the beginning of that video that's on our YouTube as well, like Andy and I, we separate. We do this thing called the Alone Challenge. And we do that every once in a while when we're in places that we're able to do such a thing. So she goes down in the basement by herself, and right off the bat, you hear what I can only assume is a male spirit going like that right into her mic. And then you hear a woman say, "It's a girl." Or what did she say? It's a woman or it's a girl.
I think that's
She said about her, and then she walks down the hall a little bit more, and you hear a man with an Irish accent, his disembodied voice going, "Help me!" And that was just the beginning of that. But the evidence that we captured was insane. We had knocks, footsteps, bangs. I don't even remember how many disembodied voices we captured. There was a lot. But since then, we've done a lot of different things. So, yeah, now we're releasing our Gettysburg videos. So we had the first one be in Farnsworth. The next one's going to be the Inn at Her Ridge, and that is also insane captures. Then after that, we have the actual lands of Gettysburg, the haunted lands, that we both go to all the different haunted spots and that we do different things. That'll be in a video. And then after that, we'll take a little breather from the paranormal, and then we release what is called our exploration videos. Is something we do differently than other people, where we will actually show you Gettysburg inside and out and all the predominant areas of Gettysburg and stuff like that.
History.
Yep. So
That would be exciting to watch when you get those out.
yeah,
Excited to watch those. Yeah.
yeah. Farnsworth's out now. We just created a new intro. A lot of people seem to like it. The intro is more about what we are and what we are able to do compared to other teams. We know that the field right now is kind of oversaturated. There's a lot of people that want to be paranormal people. You got a lot of amateurs that just grab their camera and they run into a house and be like, "Oh, we're ghost hunters." There's so much of that going on right now, and it's really hard because you also have like a bunch of people on YouTube that fake a lot of the paranormal evidence just to get views and all that kind of stuff. And it's really sad because it really hurts the field. So Andrea and I, our goal right now is to be the best that we can be and to be the best paranormalist in existence. That's what one of our main goals are. Now, the fact that we both have abilities and we have a connection with spirits gives us an upper hand above other teams because of that reason. And nobody really gets the evidence that we get. Like I said, we average about 20 disembodied voices every single investigation, at least footsteps, everything. So we capture kind of everything. So
Yeah, I when watching your videos, I thought it was kind of cute that Andy gets to go downstairs and everything. Can you explain why she goes downstairs and not you?
Yes, Mark.
yes, I can. I can. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm always, the strong one of the two. She has a little bit more. I guess like she doesn't fear as much as I do. I guess you can say, and she takes the bull by the horns and she takes those scary moments. But I've started. You have to admit, I have started to progress, and I do. Yes, don't even make that face. I do.
Well, he ran away from a shower, so.
All right, I'll give you an example. Yeah, I'm not even going to go into that. But when we were at the most haunted inn in New York, I was the one that went upstairs and you stayed down in the bar.
No. Let's clarify this, because I stayed in the bar and he can explain to you because we felt the most energy in the bar. That's why I stayed in the bar.
Not true. It's not true. She makes it look like she does all the daredevil stuff. That's not true.
He tries. He gets there eventually.
I do. It takes me time. She definitely has more of the kazunas out of the two of us. She does. We both have our own specialties. I mean, both of us, we're both clairsentient, but she has, in a way, she attracts a different kind of energy than what I do at times. Like, I'm really good when it comes to communication. The spirits always want to speak. They're always calling my name, and they do the same thing with her too. Like, her name comes up quite a bit. What we don't understand is there's a lot of times the spirits will talk about us like we're almost like not there. And it's like, it's really bizarre, but the spirits know things about her and I that we don't even know yet. Now, and what I mean by that, when we first started off in it, we both believed that we were just regular sensitives because we had all these, the sensations of feeling and everything else. But then we started actually like hearing things and things started coming to us like almost like a premonition type of deal. It's very rare, but it's happened to us. So we knew that we were above a sensitive. So then we did a lot of research and looked it up in that. And there's like these different tests you could tell that, what you are. We're definitely not clairvoyant. I don't think we're there yet. I think we have some of those abilities. But like I said, the spirits know who we are more than we are. And it gets weird sometimes when we're talking to them and they're like, is that them? Is that really them? And they say things like that, like, I can see them. And then like they'll sit there and they'll ask, what magic we have. Or we've even had spirits go, are you God? Just for the fact that we could talk to them. And to spirits, it's very confusing because they don't understand how a human being's able to communicate with them, because that's not a normal thing. But with her and I, it's easy. We flick our portal on, and it's like they come right through. And we walk into a place, and I can give you an example. When we walked into Fainting Goat Island in New York, which is the most haunted inn, the moment we walked through the door, the little boy came right down the stairs, and you heard every step getting stepped on, and the owners were right there, and they witnessed it. And then the doll, they had an animatronic doll that's motion activated. Nobody was in the room, started laughing by itself. And then the owner actually felt the little boy go right through because he got all these cold chills and stuff. So they never experienced anything until we walked through the damn door. So it's crazy. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize what we're able to do compared to other people. A lot of times people will go into an investigation and you'll always hear this, paranormal teams don't always get evidence. They'll go in an investigation for 3-4 hours and there's nothing. They get nothing. We have yet to experience that. Every single investigation we do, every single one, we have engagements with spirits. It always happens, and we always show that the places have the paranormal activity.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't just go into random places, though. We go to known haunted locations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our goals, though. I mean, no, that's not totally true, though.
Just the colliery was different.
The colliery, yeah, we stepped out of it. Oh, that's another video. I don't know if your viewers want to watch something where we get attacked. because we actually get attacked in that video. There's a place called the Colliery, and it's actually not that far from where we live. And we drove by it, and we saw that it's a desolate, vacated coal colliery. It's abandoned. I guess people have partied there and stuff like that. And her and I always had a feeling just going by it. We were like, oh, maybe we should just check this out. So we went there during the day, and we both felt a lot of energy. And a spirit actually came through instantly and said, I died here. So we were like, well, this might be a really good place to do. So we went back, and then we started doing the investigation. And we felt that night that there was something that did not want us there. Now, that was that first night that we were there. And we just had that feeling. But we said, okay, well, we have to go back because we have to finish this video. So we ended up going right back. And right when we got in the car, Andy heard a voice in her ear, and it said, do not come here.
It said, leave this place. We don't want you here.
Yeah. And she told me that. Now, I didn't hear that myself. She heard it while we were in the car. And me, being as stubborn as I am, I said, no, we're going to still do it. So we went in there, and the night started nice. We had some conversations with the spirits. We were trying to get them to do, like, pushing these boards over and stuff like that. Then things started getting a little dark there. And now there are pentagrams. There's devil stars on the ground. We don't know if there's people that do seances there or whatever, but there was definitely a dark presence there. So as the night was getting a little bit later, they were starting to get a little standoffish. And Andy has an allergy that if she gets stung by a bee, she could die. Now, keep in mind, this is at night. And this was a bumblebee. Or was it a bumblebee or honeybee? It was a honeybee. A honeybee comes right through the thing out of nowhere in the middle of the night. Now, again, bees are not active at night. They're always sleeping in that because they work all day. There's no reason on earth why this bee would have done this, because we weren't by any nest or nothing. So it comes right through the door out of nowhere, and it goes right into her hood of her jacket. And she's freaking out, and I'm pulling it off. And we feel the spirits like getting a little antsy and stuff like that. And we're like, something's going on here. So she runs out, and I'm sitting there talking and I'm trying to calm them down. And I'm like, spirits, we're only here to communicate with you. And then the spirit comes right out, and you heard in the video, he goes, eat shit. And right when that happens, I felt what feels like two fingers together tap me in the back of the neck hard like that. And all of a sudden, all these bees started coming at us out of nowhere. Now, we went back the next day, and we actually tried to debunk it, and there was no nest or nothing there. There was nothing. There was no reason.
Mark would in. I would not go in because of the bees.
And then another crazy thing is there was a tree that was in the front that actually was down on the road when we got there the next morning, blocking the road to get in, which it made no sense. And we were thinking to ourselves, all right, maybe somebody cut it down. And then in the video, you see, too, the roots and everything came right out of the ground. And it was just like, it was crazy. But we both feel that there could have been something demonic for something to be able to control insects like that, because these things, I'm telling you, there's no other explanation. When you watch the video, you'll see what I'm saying. These things literally came right at us for like no reason. And they're not hornets. These were honeybees, literally honeybees. And, when they sting you, they die. But, we panicked because of her allergy and everything else. But it was just a feeling, too. Like, it just felt like you felt at murder house. It was very dark.
It wasn't as dark as the murder house, but I had that feeling as soon as we got out of the car. I told him I heard that voice in my head. And I said, I don't think this is a good idea.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, the crazy thing is when we got in the car to leave, the spirit comes right through and he goes, he told her. Just like that. And it's in the video. You guys can all see the evidence in the video, but it's mind-blowing. It's called the Colliery. But yeah, that was one of the craziest things that have happened to us probably since we've been doing this.
Wow, I'm just liking this. That's crazy. That is really crazy.
Yeah.
And there was crazy, especially at 10:30.
Yeah, it was 10:30 at night when it was happening.
Yeah, that's crazy. And there wasn't a windstorm or anything that would knock that tree down or anything?
No. And we talked to a lot of people about the insects in it. And I talked to people at my job that actually are very familiar with bees. And they said that's not normal. There's no way. They said if you go to a hive at night and you're disturbing the hive, like hitting the hive and stuff, of course they're going to come out then and attack you. There was no hives. And I show you the next day with video camera, everything of everywhere we were, nothing. So we don't know how it was even able to happen. We're still learning things about spirits, and there's things that you, as a normal person or anybody else, don't understand that happens. I'll give you an example. These are things that we learned. You never have privacy. Never. Every single thing you think you're doing that nobody's watching, something is always watching you. And that means happy time, whatever you're doing, they're watching. Unfortunately, even when you're using the restroom, they like to be nosy and they watch you use the restroom. Spirits have admitted this to us. Other things too, spirits have a psychic ability where they know what's going to happen before it happens. Now, we've had many cases where this has happened, and now we have enough evidence to be able to say concrete that that's a reality.
Fanny Dimmock was the best, though.
Yeah, we had Fanny at the Dimmock in video, and during the video, you can watch it. She warns us about an accident that's going to happen before it happens. And that night when we left, it was snowy and icy out. A car was flying right behind us, and Fanny told us, stay in your lane. And we didn't understand that until that happened. And the car went around us and hit the guardrail and smashed right in front of us, top speeds. That happened. We've had instances, even with the cholera, you hear me speaking and a spirit is speaking on top of my voice, saying every exact word I'm saying. So there's no way they would know what the hell I'm going to say, but they do. They know what you're going to say before you even say it. So there is some crazy things that we're still learning about the whole thing with paranormal. And right now we're just trying to find the answers on a lot of things. We do know that they have, all the spirits have admitted God and Jesus are real. They are separate entities. They are not the same person. We know that the devil's real. We know that demons are real. We know that angels are real. We know that there are 3 planes from existence after you die. There is hell, then there's 3 planes, and then there's heaven. Now, you don't instantly go right to heaven unless you're a saint. Otherwise, you are on a plane. Now, the plane is an interdimension. They're able to come right into our planet here. They're able to come right into your room from a plane, and they can step right back into the plane. That's why so many places have like haunted inns, haunted hotels, because the spirits are able to either A, remain there because they're on a plane there, but it's an interdimensional plane. They can see everything you're doing, but you can't see them unless they want you to. And then sometimes they'll appear to you. A lot of times your viewers might feel sensations of like an ice cold thing all of a sudden. That's a spirit. They might feel an electrical feeling, or whole body goes through pins and needles. That's a spirit touching you. A lot of people don't understand these things when it happens. They don't really have an answer to it. They're like, oh, there must have been a draft or something like that. They could be in a butt warm house and all of a sudden they feel a cold instance. You know what I mean? They can't explain it. But these are the things that happen to people. And like I said, there's always an answer to everything that happens. It's just figuring out what that is.
I'm curious, would you guys think about writing a book or 2 or 3 with all of your experiences?
Maybe once, I think maybe once we...
Yeah, I think after we have a little bit more experience and a little bit more knowledge, I think that that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, let me know when that comes out. I'd love to get one of your books. That would be absolutely crazy.
The best advice we can give, if you have listeners that have any kind of sensitivity to energy, okay, and they're like a sensitive, if they want to strengthen and harness their skills and stuff, what me and Andy do on our off time is we both do a lot of meditational stuff with binaural beats. There's different frequencies that do different things to your what's it called, the pineal gland?
They're made to open the pineal gland.
Yeah. So we'll sit there and we'll just lay in the darkness and just like constantly hear these waves. And then it puts you in a trance so much, but it really opens you up. We've noticed since we've been doing it, our abilities have gotten much stronger. We do end up bringing work home with us sometimes, unfortunately. It happens, you know, you'll be in the bedroom and all of a sudden you'll hear a voice out of nowhere. A woman's in the corner of our room talking. I have seen somebody in my closet just a week ago. It kind of freaked me out a little bit. And it was really bizarre because the door was cracked open. I was getting changed. And when I turned my head, like towards the walk-in closet we have, something was sideways where I saw its shoulders and its head, and it had this really bushy hair, and it was literally sideways at the door looking at me. And the moment it saw that I saw it, it jumped right back right behind the door, like within a millisecond, and I ran in there and there was nothing there. So unfortunately, there are times we've also, even our old place that we had, we would see shadows in our kitchen walking by and stuff, and the candles that would always light up. Things always followed us. And it still happens. Like we're in a new house now and we still get things here. Now we haven't done really, I think we've done one cleansing here so far. Mm-hmm. Right. We usually are chill. You know, we know the spirits are very curious and some of them will follow us to see who we are and to hang out for a little bit, and then they usually leave. The ones that end up staying and we start going through different things, that's when we'll do a cleansing to make sure that we don't have anything here.
Yeah, a good idea with the two of you having your skills that you have. Great idea. Yeah, that is really cool. I mean, you guys are just mind blowing of this information you come about and how you work with them. And Auntie, how you are very calm with them and you're very willing and able to help them pass over. And you're very good with them. You're very good.
I think that they need to feel that comfort with you in order to have that nice connection and get that communication. You have to show them that you're not there to harm them. You just want to speak to them. I know we interact with a lot of children.
Yeah, we do.
We get a lot of interaction with children. And I always think it helps to get down on their level. I don't know if you notice a lot of times when we think we're speaking to children, I'll get down on the floor because I think that makes them feel more comfortable too. You're not as intimidating that way. Not that I'm very big, but
yeah, if your viewers or even you yourself, if you want to see those interactions, the last video that we just literally put out, it's 2 days old, I think. It's called Farnsworth. And in that video, when we're up in the attic, I'm showing Jeremy's a little boy spirit, the motion balls. And when I'm doing it, like I felt him right near me, and you literally hear his disembodied voice go, "Can I see?" Like he was very intrigued with what's going on. And then when he comes through, he goes, when he came through the portal, he goes, "Is this, what is it? Is this spirit box still on, spirit box?" And he says it in his own tone, which is amazing. Like he has like this little southern intonation with his voice. Like it's incredible to hear that. But yeah, we have a lot of things with spirits, especially with children's spirits. I don't know if you saw what was it? The Samuel Miller Mansion. That video was incredible because that
video was a little bit of everything. Yeah. We had some really, really sweet little children that interacted with us, but there was a lot of darkness there too. So that was kind of a mix of everything.
Yeah, there's a point in that video when we're upstairs on the
second floor.
Second floor. We had REM pods in 3 different rooms. And all these rooms were separated by an opening on the doorway. So what happened to us is unexplainable. There was nobody on earth that would be able to debunk it because we can't even fathom what happened. We knew there was little kids with us, and we felt like they were all together planning something, and then they do, because all 3 REM pods go off in all 3 different rooms at the exact same time, and then the balls go off at the exact same time. It was incredible. And you hear a little boy too. What's he say? The one that's by the right, like he goes, "No, don't look at me," or something like that. Mm-hmm. "No, don't look at me." Yeah. And we had the camera right on that area. Now the camera didn't actually get his apparition or anything, but his spirit felt like we were filming him doing this. And he goes, "No, don't look at me," and he's setting off the REM pod. It was incredible. That whole experience there, we felt them. We even got their little footsteps running. You can actually hear that clear as day. Insane activity there. That was one of our favorite places.
Do you think you guys will ever have kids?
She has her own kids and I have my own kids. So I think we're done. I have 2 boys. I have a 20-year-old and He's autistic, and I have a 13-year-old that's typical that loves baseball. And
I have a 23-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 15-year-old. So I think that's enough.
Yeah, that sounds like enough. Do they have any of these skills?
I think one of mine does. My daughter is very afraid of it. So she doesn't like, she knows that we do it and she thinks that it's cool that we do it, but she won't watch the videos. She doesn't want to go anywhere haunted. My oldest, I don't believe does, but my little guy, I think he does.
I think Cameron has, my little one has some kind of sensitivity, but I don't think he understands it yet, and he doesn't have a grasp of it yet, but I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll be a good spot to end the show at this point. But thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I'm so glad we were finally able to get together and do this.
No problem.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Oh, of course. If anybody out there has any stories to show or tell, and let me know, email lighttalk423@gmail.com and we'll get you on the show. And don't forget the like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. And we will talk to everybody next time. All right. Bye.
Bye.